Okay, here comes a quick live montage pod of all of the interesting folks that we got to talk to in Houston at the Harris County Democratic Party Convention on Saturday, where we were proud to be included as media partner. I'm putting these interviews in the order we captured them. See the show notes for a timestamped list, but I encourage you to listen through for both familiar voices and maybe some new voices in Texas progressive politics, and for sure a lot of enthusiasm and momentum very much in evidence throughout the day. Thanks again to Jeff Hilton and the rest of the Harris County Convention organizers for having us, and here we go. All right, everybody, Harris County Democratic Party Convention. Let's check and see if we're in the camera. Go over this way. See, there's our shot right there.
Oh, perfect.
Isn't that cool? So
Yeah,
we're still getting set up here. State Rep Ann Johnson.
Good morning.
Houston, Texas.
Yep.
It's your hometown.
It is. Good morning. Welcome to Houston.
Oh, well, thank you. We're so glad to be here.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about why we are all sweating at 9 a.m.
Well, we've already gotten the humidity coming in, getting ready for the heat of the summer, but really the heat of the election into November.
Sure.
We've come off a number of really competitive and really wonderful primaries. Some are still going. But now is really the time for us to focus and get ready for November. We've had Republican extremism in the state of Texas. We've had Republicans in charge of the state of Texas for virtually 3 decades. And so when people are feeling the pain, there is an alternative. There is a party that cares about a living wage. There's a party that cares about making sure that public education is accessible and every child has an opportunity.
Yep.
And there's a party that cares about ensuring that people have access to health care. That's the Democratic Party.
Wonderful. And so we are still we haven't quite got out of what some call silly season, which is your primary season. We still have some runoffs to get past.
Yep, we do.
The business of the conventions is itself, by nature, some degree of conflict, as different parts of the party come together to formulate the platform and figure out where things are going to go. At a moment when some people are concerned about Democratic unity going into the general in November, as we're still kind of trying to work this out, and conflict is very central to politics. Talk about how you feel about the prospects and what needs to happen for there to be really everybody rowing in the same direction when November rolls around.
Well, I think the Democratic Party really represents the idea that our unity is in our diversity, because we are all different, but we have all felt some level of vulnerability to the extremism of power. Whether you're a member of the LGBTQ community, or you're Latin, or you're Black, you have felt the pain of living in a state where the highest rate of maternal mortality and morbidity disproportionately impacts Black women. That's a policy decision, right? I work in the criminal courthouse, right? When we talk about the issues of due process, or we talk about the issues of protecting people who are victims of crime, you need a system that actually works and respects both aspects. Democrats actually do that. We have advocated for public safety that's actually fair to all individuals. Republicans demonize the idea that we're different, or that we should fear others, or that somebody else is getting your piece of the pie. And in reality, the system works when we all combine and come together and try to make every day the best opportunity for every individual, no matter what neighborhood you're growing up in. And so Republicans have done a good job of trying to fracture and split us. But the diversity of our ideas and coming together and making sure that every community is heard, making sure that our shared experiences, for example, on the floor of the Texas House a session ago, one of the members expressed the fact that you don't know what it's like to live in his skin, being a member of a community of color.
Sure.
That's a very real thing that others need to recognize and say, hey, life is different for our differences, and people are unfortunately treated differently. So being able to have people come together, a diverse group, express their interests, express what life is like for them on the daily, and then recognize we all really do want the same thing. We want our kids to have an opportunity to succeed and get a good education. We want to be able to afford going to the grocery store every week, and that's the commonality. So, like a family, we all come together, we all express our own concerns, and then it's time to unify going into the next election cycle.
That's right, and figure it out for sure.
Absolutely.
So I think we perceive at Progress Texas definitely a momentum shift that's occurred over the last, let's say, 18 months or something.
I think, at least, definitely for us inside wonky types, that the quorum break was the kind of one of those moments when a lot of attention was focused on Texas nationally. A lot of attention was focused within Texas from people who might not have been paying attention to politics at that point. And that's the last time we had talked to you, actually, was from, you must have been were you in Oregon, or where were you?
No, I was in Illinois.
You're in Illinois.
I was in Illinois,
Okay, right.
and then I was a part of a delegation that went to California to meet with Governor Newsom and Speaker Pelosi and other representatives in California who recognized that they had an opportunity to advocate for Prop 50, which was completely different from what Texas Republicans were doing. They actually wanted to put out to the voters, what do you want to do in this moment of a crisis where Trump is asking Texas Republicans to try to steal the Congress before the next election even starts? And what do we, as a democracy, as voters, what do we want to do in response? And so I am glad to have been part of the Texas group, part of the quorum breakers that really highlighted and exposed what Trump and Texas Republicans were doing and gave the people an opportunity to rise up against it.
Very, very cool. Now that, that was in resistance to the new maps.
Yep.
The maps eventually went through, as we all know. These days, it seems as though the maps may not work out the way they were intended in certain parts of the state. Do you know anything about that, or do you have any views on, well, especially in South Texas?
Yeah.
I mean, are the R's going to get as many R's as they thought they were going to get out of that?
I mean, I think that's the shame in what the Republicans have done, is to try to steal and try to manipulate by picking their voters for their elected officials before the voters even have an opportunity to be heard.
Right.
And I think what you've seen in the primary election in Texas, in the wave of new people that have come out and actually got out to vote in some of the critical races that we had. The biggest one that I know everybody was excited about, Jasmine Crockett and James Tallarico running for an opportunity to compete either against Cornyn, who's doing everything he can to try to satisfy Republican extremism in Trump, or against Ken Paxton, that we know is the most corrupt attorney general in the nation that now wants a promotion. And so Democrats and then just regular folks, I think, have said, I've had enough, and have actually turned out to participate in selecting Democrats that will be on the ballot top to bottom of the ticket. And so like Gina Hinojosa running for governor. I mean, we really do have a great slate, and a slate to be finalized with these next runoffs that are coming up in the next few weeks that people should engage in. But to see the enthusiasm, I mean, these were folks that have not voted yet. Right. These are folks that you didn't know were going to show up to the polls and took the extraordinary step to step up. And so in many ways, it reminds me of what we're seeing of the folks in Minnesota.
Right.
And the folks that got out and peacefully protested against the extremism of their government in a way that we, again, were reminded that truly the power is within the people. And the power is within the people in the right process. And so there is no bigger statement to make in Texas than to get out and vote. And if that trend continues, then Democrats do have an opportunity to take not only seats statewide, but to take seats in the chamber that you would break the Republican extremism and the stranglehold that they have over statewide elected officials and offices and the House and the Senate. And so what do you get with that? What do you get if a chamber's a Republican and a chamber's Democrat? You get the same. We got to actually compromise and work down the middle, and maybe we should get back to talking about public education, and we should get back to talking about health care, and we should get back to the fact that people actually want us to solve problems around infrastructure and flooding and issues that actually apply to everyday Texans. And so I hope we get that chance.
Absolutely. So first interview of the day, and has set the bar somewhat high, I would say. Thank you for being our guinea pig first interview of the day.
I tell you what, I am so excited to be out here this morning. For those that have not come out here yet and need to come out here, there really is an incredible level of enthusiasm and participation from our precinct chairs and others that are here congregating in their CD districts to start talking about the big issues for the party and going forward. But there is enthusiasm here, and there's a feeling of lightness in the air and opportunity in November and unity. And that's what we need. And so I'm excited. So happy to be here to start it off.
Lovely.
Let's keep it going.
State Rep Ann Johnson
of
Houston.
Pleasure to see you.
Okay, as we continue our series of interviews here at the Harris County Democratic Party Convention, Houston, Texas, University of Houston, former Houston Mayor Annise Parker is here. Hello.
Hello, really glad to be here.
It's great to have you for sure. You are currently in a runoff. You have not completed your primary season yet. Silly season is not over for you quite yet. Talk a little bit about what you're experiencing from potential voters that you're meeting as you're continuing, in primary mode. A lot of people are ready to be, are glad to be done with that. You're not quite yet. What are people telling you? What kind of feedback are you getting out there?
As a candidate, personally, I'm getting a lot of great feedback. But what I'm hearing from voters is they're just tired of the endless election cycle.
Yes.
This is apparently a record for a one-year period with just so many special.
I think you're
right.
right.
And we have a primary and a runoff for the primary. And then, of course, I'm having a lot of conversations with voters about the country going to hell.
Yeah, there's that too. Absolutely. It's one of those situations where, and you're still very much in a personal state of competition. The nature of the convention itself is to hammer out the details of what folks want to be eventually on the state platform, the state party platform, after the summer convention happens. Conflict very central to the political process. How do we get beyond conflict to unity once we get down to November? How does that
I think there's a lot of unity in Democrats, and one thing is that we are united against Donald Trump. We are united against Greg Abbott. We're united against Ted Cruz and Dan Patrick, and God help us if it's Ken Paxton or John Cornyn on the other side. So we are united as Democrats to say we've got to break this Republican stranglehold on the state and on our country. And unfortunately and fortunately for us, Donald Trump seems to be determined to wreak havoc on the economy and on our country. So, that will cause us to align more closely as Democrats. I've been participating in Democratic Party politics since I was in college. Been a delegate, I think, to 3 national conventions, multiple state conventions. And, there's never been complete alignment on what's in the platform.
Right.
Now, there's always been, there's the progressives, the centrists, where that line has shifted over the years.
Sure.
But when it came down to it in November, we lined up and did what we needed to do.
Yeah. We sure hope that happens again for sure. So I don't know that anyone who, except someone who has been mayor of a city, can truly, fully understand the nature of a city. As from that experience, we, Progress Texas, we're well established statewide, but we consider Houston to be a growth area. We try to get down here and do as much stuff as we possibly can. That's why we're here right now. Tell us about, people who are outside of Houston. Houston is such a massive thing, but it's also such a diverse thing, and it's everything and everywhere. Tell us about Houston and kind of boil down for people who haven't been here a lot and want to understand it better.
People think about the sheer size of Houston, and we're the 4th largest city in the United States. I think they counted wrong. We're probably number 3.
Yeah.
But we're also, from a population standpoint, we're bigger than 15 states.
Yeah.
But we're part of a really big urban region, and I'm running to be Harris County judge.
Right.
That's the 3rd largest county in the United States, bigger than 26 states. And
that's just crazy.
It's just, it is a big, intense urban region, but we're the heart of the oil and gas economy. We are what fuels America, of course, the Texas Medical Center. What people from the outside don't understand is that Houston is arguably the most diverse city in the United States in terms of population and languages spoken, because for decades we've been a magnet for people from around the world with 3 very specific industries: oil and gas, international; the Port of Houston, largest foreign tonnage port in the United States, international; Texas Medical Center, single biggest destination for foreign visitors to Houston, Texas Medical Center. Doctors, researchers, patients, all of these international ties, and that's been growing and boosting our economy. So we're a big cosmopolitan international city on this kind of sleepy Gulf Coast, part of the world.
Yeah.
And there's no mountains, there's no scenic vistas. Ocean's 50 miles away, but we just keep growing and blowing and going. because we have jobs and we have the future and we have the world.
Right. Absolutely. It's
That's a right out of the Chamber of Commerce mayor's speech right there.
That's great. That's great stuff.
And I've been out of office for the last 10 years, so I can still do it.
You've done that for sure. Well, it's terrific to meet you. Tell us real quick as we wrap up, just general message to Democrats out there as we, head for further conventions, as we head for November. Your message to Democrats in general.
We've always talked about the big tent and being the big tent party, and I have never really liked that idea of a big tent party. I think of us more as like the family picnic. We're all sprawled all over the lawn, and the vegans are over there, and the vegetarians are over there, and the hardcore carnivores are over there, and the kids are playing ball, and somebody's playing domino. We have something for everyone. We have to recognize that we have to make space for the differences, and I absolutely believe that we will come November.
Very good. I'll be over here minding the pit. So
there you go. Me too.
Former Houston Mayor Annise Parker, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, Harris County Democratic Party Convention, Houston, Texas, University of Houston, State Rep Gene Wu.
How's it going?
What's going on?
Countdown days.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Each day praying that things don't get worse. And
that's where we are.
Casually being disappointed.
Yeah. Well, we want to keep it light, keep it bright.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Look,
it is what it is.
The big takeaway is everybody that's out there, Democrats, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're not a Democrat, whether you just care about this country, you know that there is light. You see the cracks of light in the darkness everywhere.
Yes.
SD9 here in Texas. 25, 30 other special elections throughout the United States in the past year. Overwhelmingly, Republicans won not a single one. Let me correct that. Donald Trump did not win a single one. The American people, not Democrats, the American people won 25, 30 seats.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And we're talking about like SD9 here, a swing of almost 30 points.
It is indeed. It's really, really remarkable.
And
really
I know that Dan Patrick's out there like, this is a special election. It didn't count for anything. Nobody knew about it. Baby, Republicans spent 4, 5, 6 times more money.
Yes. Lee Wamsgau's had a gigantic budget.
That was, that was a billionaire darling.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And
MAGA technocrat.
Yeah.
Is what we would call her. But anyway, we are, I think, seeing a gathering of unity, a gathering of interest, a gathering of passion. We, however, are still kind of in the silly season of the runoff. That's still going on. These conventions by nature, and we've kind of been hitting everybody with this, there is conflict here. There's a conversation, and you've talked about this a lot. That's the process.
It's a process. Having more choices and fighting over the choices is always better than having fewer choices.
Right.
Or having no choice.
Right.
Which is what we have right now.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I would much rather have us have really heated fights about who is the better person to lead us out of the desert.
Right.
Than to say, holy crap, nobody filed for this seat, and had we just had a warm body there, we could have won that seat. Right? Which is what we screamed about many times before, 2018, 2012, right? And so on and so forth. And this time, every single state, federal, county seat across the state of Texas has been filled by a Democratic candidate. There is somebody out in every single place.
That has never happened for either party.
Nope.
Neither party has ever pulled that off. That's
hope.
Great.
There is light coming through the darkness.
Yep.
We must focus on those points of light and make them bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Absolutely, for sure. Talk about we're having a great time in Houston. Progress Texas tries to spend as much time in Houston as we possibly can. We learn more about it. We grow further in love with it every time we come here. Yeah. Talk about Houston for a minute for folks who don't quite get it.
Houston, strangely enough, in the middle of beet red Texas, is the very example of what the future is.
Right.
the idea that we can have people from around the world, people from all walks of life, rich, poor, whatever you have, that we can come together and just say, we can make a decent life for each other. It doesn't have to be one group or another or another. Nobody has to be cut out. We can make sure that we have a society that is beneficial toward everyone, that we can promote growth, that we can help people do better. That, like, public safety is all sorts of things, not just prisons.
Right.
And all these different things that, like, we can be smart in the future. We don't have to keep doing the same dumb shit all the time.
For sure. Totally agreed. Agreed.
And I think that's what makes, I think, people like Abbott uncomfortable.
Right.
Because they're fighting for a vision of Texas that is what it was 50 years ago. Not even 10 years ago, 50 years ago. Texas hasn't been MAGA the way they envisioned it for a long, long time, right? And what they don't want to talk about, what Abbott and other people don't want to talk about, is how they're able to build all this wealth, how they're able to say Texas has grown so much and is so prosperous. It's because of places like Houston, like Dallas, like Austin that are open and welcoming. That's why people are flooding there. That's why businesses from around the world are setting up their headquarters there. That's why people are coming from not just around the country, but from around the world to say, this is nice.
Right.
Because we created a nice place.
Right. Absolutely.
And what they're fighting for is something that is completely the opposite, and they know it. They see what's going on right now. They know that their policies are not only destroying the state, but destroying the country. They know it. They're watching it, and they're dreading the moment sometime this year when the majority of Americans figure out it is their policies, it is their fault, specifically that why we're here at this moment.
It's the strangest thing for the most financially and business-wise successful amongst us, who have reaped the benefits of this broader economic engine that includes all of us in Texas. They're up at the top, and they seem to. And you said something about they know it. Sometimes I feel like they've forgotten how they got there. That there's some kind of a disconnect.
No, I think there's some serious cognitive dissonance, right?
Yeah.
Where, I mean, like, look. It doesn't take a brain surgeon or an economist to understand when everybody is doing better, you can make more money. When everybody has money, you can make more money.
Right.
When everybody is poor, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel for the last nickel.
Right.
Like, that's not good for anybody.
And you're also
know this.
You're in a state of strife too, because everybody's pissed. Down below you.
Everybody's pissed.
So well, we could solve all these problems. We don't have all day though.
Yeah.
What's your plan for the convention day today? What are you going to be doing?
Just want to encourage everybody who's here. Want to again, just like right here, is saying like, look, don't focus on the darkness, focus on the light. We can do this. I think for us going forward, our battle cry isn't "Yay Democrats." Our battle cry is "Yay America." Yay us. Yay the United States. We are not. Our country is not called America. Our country is called the United States. It is us.
Yes.
We are the most important thing. Americans first, right? This is us first. Let's put the people first. And I think that's an easy message that we can all say, it should be people first. It should be us first. Let's do it.
Absolutely. We're down. State Rep Gene Wu, everybody. Thank you so much. Awesome.
Let's go.
Awesome.
All right. Once again, Harris County Democratic Party Convention, Houston, University of Houston. Definitely one of our primary Houston operatives, I would say, is board member Dr. Wil Jeudy. Hello. How are you?
Good morning.
Thank you.
Hello.
Great to have you here. Tell us what's exciting for you on Convention Day here in Houston.
I love being visible. I love that you all are here. I love that we are here. And my group, Secular Houston, and also associated group, Secular Texas PAC, we're just letting people know that we exist, and we're advocating for church-state separation in government. Not in your home, not in church, in government.
It's wild. I'm sure you've noticed, and this is something I haven't seen talked about too much. And this is developing quickly. And may have by the time this actually gets published. Towards the end of the weekend or Monday. talk of the enormous amount of religious conversation and dogma that is present within the Department of War now, that really makes the Iran thing super scary in terms of why we're doing it. What would you say about that? Have you followed all of that?
I've tend to not. I've kind of unplugged from national news.
Yeah,
but because
it's freaky,
it's gross, and what they have been doing is gross. But this was gross plus.
Yes.
What he, basically just saying from the stage with his title, a pretty big effing title. Pray for the troops, which again I'm used to that. But then
That's
going
fine.
into the specifically about in the name of JC, and I was like, it was just I'm already used to it, but it just gave me another layer of nausea. Again, people in their homes, in their church, amazing, great, do that. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, but don't use the power of the state to put your thumb on the scale and enforce this upon all Americans. Absolutely un-American, unconstitutional.
Absolutely.
So we've been asking this question to everybody. We're still in silly season here. We just passed the primaries, going into the runoffs. Going into 26, unity and togetherness. How do we reconcile, choosing our differences and going into this election?
We approach it as, I hate to say it, but as adults. We just know that we're going to have some disagreements, but what was the saying about 80% is better than 100%? Something about perfect is the enemy of good. I'm mixing all my sayings, but you have to learn to be able to, I'm putting air quotes, put up with differences that you have, or any, however this person got to this seat, all right, they're there now, and let's just roll up our sleeves and get this person elected. So we have to be okay with those differences.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about overall Democratic momentum and spirit and interest and how things seem to be pivoting coming out of primaries? Not quite out of primaries yet, as Haley said, but on our way out of that phase into conventions towards the election. How are you feeling about the Democratic juju at the moment?
It's weird to say that I'm optimistic as a progressive, atheist, secular activist in Texas, but holy moly, last year there was a rejection of Christian nationalism in school boards across Texas and including in Houston. Voter turnout, as you have reported on and as we see, is crazy large. And I've been talking to some people here that they just reinforce that voter turnout on the Democratic side is just off the charts. Yeah. So we just have to keep our foot in the gas, let people know that primaries, that was amazing. Let's do even better in November, and we can sit back and enjoy the fruits of that labor.
Right on. You've been on the board for how long now? Three or 4 months? Something like that? What more have you learned about Progress Texas, and what would you say to people who are just coming into view of us? We've met people every time we do this. By the way, we're set up in the convention vendor area here at the University of Houston with a bunch of our favorite people, candidates and office holders. But many people coming up haven't heard of Progress Texas yet. What are you telling people who are discovering that you're involved with it?
I am spreading the word, obviously, to everybody in our orbit. I didn't know about you until about 2 years ago, but I was instantly hooked. And I don't know how I didn't hear about you before, because we have been around, for 15 plus years.
Almost 16.
Yeah.
Coming up on 16.
And doing amazing work. And from what I have learned, it's just the momentum. It's just more and more and more, which is kind of what I'm enjoying with our groups here.
Yeah.
So that says something to the message, says something about the people that have been running the show and that are running it now. So I'm super proud to be included in this iteration and help it move forward.
Awesome.
Cool.
Love that.
We don't have to do nothing. We're good. We're good. All right. Wil Jeudy is with Secular Houston PAC.
Secular
It's
Texas
a Texas PAC. You get that right for sure.
And Secular
Statewide.
Houston.
That's
right.
Talk a moment about that, what you're doing with that.
So the vision is Secular Texas PAC became a thing in December of 2025, so it's very new.
Right.
The vision is to have it's a state PAC, so we get to accept contributions and spend the money on getting people elected. So the vision is to have affiliates across Texas. So right now, Secular Houston is the first affiliate, associated group. Secular Houston has their endorsement list that we put out every year, or every election, I should say. And Secular Texas PAC is there to, yes, their endorsement list, that's amazing, but now we get to put some money behind it. And it gives us that voice of church-state separation even more weight in Texas. The vision, now we have secular Houston already involved. I would love to have a secular Austin, secular San Antonio, secular DFW, secular El Paso, secular Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah.
And they have their own endorsement lists, and we get to send money to those candidates as well.
Awesome. And where can people find Secular Houston and Secular PAC?
Secular Houston has a website, and we're on all the social medias. Secular Texas PAC, well, the website is almost done. It's almost there.
All right.
But we're on the social medias, and from there you can find out how to contribute if you so desire. And it's through the Act Blue, as a lot of people around here are on. And I would say the secular for now, Secular Houston. Look up Secular Houston. We're giving Secular Texas PAC a lot of shine, letting people know what it's about. Until we have a social media presence for Secular Texas PAC. It's coming soon.
Coming
Very
soon.
cool. You'll be hearing about it here. Dr. Wil Jeudy, thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Okay, once again, Houston, Texas, University of Houston, and the Harris County Democratic Party Convention, I think for the second time on the podcast. This time not as a candidate, no longer a candidate, now the at-large Houston City Council member. Are you the only one who's at-large?
There's 5 of us.
5 at-large,
Yes.
Okay. Such a strange town that Houston is. Alejandra, great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Very, very cool. Tell us, in general, are you having fun so far here at the convention?
I feel so fortunate to be at the convention, so excited about the energy. People are so excited to get Democrats elected up and down the ballot in November.
Very, very good.
Awesome. ICE in our communities is a big issue that people have been paying a lot of attention to. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing in your capacity as a city council member with that.
Well, first off, I couldn't agree more. I hear day in and day out that people are so concerned about what's happening with our immigration officials.
Yeah.
So this Thursday, I filed my first ordinance alongside Councilmember Kamen, Councilmember Pollard, to empower HPD to make choices to focus on keeping our communities safer.
Yeah.
And it does 3 main things. 1, it creates discretion for law enforcement to call on administrative warrants, which are not warrants that are signed by a judge, but warrants just issued by ICE. 2, it makes a common sense resolution to say that when the lawful purpose of your stop ends, you have to let them go.
Yeah.
You can't just wait around as long as you want for ICE to show up. And the 3rd is transparency. Public reporting about how often the Houston Police Department is calling ICE, how long those stops are, and if we're handing somebody over to ICE. Let's rebuild trust through transparency and empower our officers to do what they do best. We announced this bill with over 25 community organizations standing behind us, and I hope my colleagues will do the right thing and pass the bill.
Right on.
Very, very good. Tell about, we've been talking all day today about Democratic unity. While we're still going through a process of figuring out the platform, there are still candidates in runoff mode at the moment. There has been concern, considering how a lot of the different parts of the primary went, about that eventual degree of uniformity and unity as we get towards November and the big day coming up this fall. What's your read on how people you're seeing at events like this, or maybe just during your day-to-day job and people that you're talking to in your community, in terms of how we're coalescing at this point? Does it seem like it's difficult, or are we coming together at this point?
I think we're absolutely coming together, and to those who are concerned, I would ask them to remember the 2008 presidential election.
Okay.
There were very strong people in the Clinton camp and the Obama camp. I was a freshman in college, but we came together as a party and did something monumental.
Yep.
We're about to do that here in the state of Texas. So the passion will come together to make a difference, because we know the real opponent is Greg Abbott.
Right.
And getting rid of John Cornyn or Ken Paxton.
Absolutely, absolutely. Talk a little bit about your town of Houston. We've spoken to lots of folks who have been directly involved in representing different parts of Houston, if not the entire city. Tell us about the beauty of Houston that other folks around Texas might be missing out on. What's special about Houston from an insider view?
Well, I think Houston's the greatest city in America. I've lived all over the country, and the reason I believe that is because of the power of our diversity. The most diverse city in America, the power of economic opportunity. People come here from all over the world, including very liberal states, to come here to Houston because they know this is a place for opportunity.
Yeah.
And together, that celebration of culture and diversity and opportunity, we're the modern day Ellis Island. It's a beautiful, beautiful city, and folks should come and enjoy our green space, enjoy our culture, our food, our arts. It's the very best.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
Absolutely. And right now, we are humans against Greg Abbott, and Greg Abbott has been attacking Houston constantly. What message do you have for Greg Abbott?
Governor Abbott, I would encourage you to follow through on some of the promises you made on the campaign, a small government. Get out of Houston's way and let us do what we can do to make our city as great as we can.
Awesome.
Excellent. Finally, just how are you feeling as we move towards November? Give us some words of wisdom. Give us a little pep talk real quick, and we'll finish up.
I am thrilled, but we have to remember to translate all this energy into going to vote.
Yes.
It only matters if we go to vote, if we take out 10, 20, 30 of our friends to vote. If you want to see a difference this November, go vote. Go figure out how to get as many people possible to go out and vote. That's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I hope every Democrat in Texas is doing.
Amen.
Very, very good. Houston City Council member at large Alejandra Salinas, thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. Thank
you. Okay, the fun continues. We are here at the Harris County Democratic Party Convention, Houston, Texas, University of Houston. We're meeting all kinds of interesting and colorful people. And today, here comes Stephanie Board, who is an official Democratic nominee for the Texas House of Representatives.
That's right.
For which district?
District 126.
What's going on in that district?
So we're all in the Klein, Spring, Cypress, Tomball area, northwest Houston.
Yep.
And up there we care a lot about public education, we care a lot about flood mitigation, and we care a lot about affordable health care.
That's all great ideas, I
Yes.
think. Tell us about you. This is your first time on with us.
Yeah.
What's your deal? Where you come from?
So I am a former public school teacher, so that definitely influences where I stand on public education.
What was your lane in teaching?
Science.
Okay. Wow.
So I did high school science.
I like it.
Specifically earth and environmental science, which was a lot of fun.
Right on.
I love rocks.
Okay. You know what? I have to ask you, and forgive me if this is not a good question.
No, go ahead.
And we'll edit it out if it's not a good question. Corpus, water.
Yes.
What's the scientific view of what has happened down there? What's the way out? Is there a way out for that piece of Texas?
It's not looking good. They're about to run out of water. Like they said, it's like a couple of months at this point.
Is what they're saying, yeah.
And so what we're looking at is that the aquifer is being depleted. In Houston, in our area, we get our water mostly from Lake Houston, but that water actually comes from north of Conroe. So we are doing okay over here. In Corpus, it's not the same. And once an aquifer is dry, it takes thousands of years to replenish.
It's basically gone.
Yes.
I mean, more or less.
Yes.
Minus, 9 hurricanes in a row or something.
Yeah.
Something crazy thing, which we don't want that either.
But even then, most of that water will become storm water, surface water.
Right.
And won't get back into that aquifer for a long time. So,
right.
Yeah.
So it's a bad situation. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that we've sidetracked, let's sidetrack back to what we're here to talk about, which is your run. Tell us what you've covered this a little bit, but give me feedback from people you're running into as you're out there knocking on doors and doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
What do people want? What do people need? Why are people voting this year?
Affordability, which is what everybody is saying.
Yep.
Everything is too expensive. I bought gas this morning and bought just enough to get down here because I couldn't break the bank.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And so that's definitely something. In our district, we have a huge population of people who work for the public schools. And so watching these vouchers be given out to private schools is really impacting our community.
Very good.
It's one of our biggest employers is the public schools.
I don't know offhand about your opponent coming up in November.
I don't have one yet.
Are they in runoff mode now?
They're in a runoff, yes.
Okay. Can you talk about that at all, or do you want to? You don't have to.
I can talk about it.
Okay.
So there's 2 candidates right now. One of them got dropped out in the primary.
Yep.
But we've got Stan Stannart, who was our former county clerk before Tanisha Hudspeth. And then we also have Sam Harless, who is the current representative. His district director is running. And so they're in a runoff. And we'll see how it goes. Stan is sort of very, very, very far to the right.
Yeah.
Kelly is more moderate, the way that Sam Harless was.
Let's see. Give us the reasons, the concrete, easy elevator pitch sort of reasons that this district needs a Democrat instead.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, besides the public education stuff, and the healthcare stuff. Like, one of the things with healthcare for me is I would really like to see Medicaid expanded. 11% of our district is living below the poverty level, and they could definitely use some of that funding. I guess the one last thing that I like to talk about is I am a volunteer with Moms Demand Action.
Yes.
And I
great.
feel very strongly about secure storage for firearms.
Yeah, why is that so hard? I mean, tell me why that is so hard.
It should not be so hard.
I don't get it.
We fight for common sense stuff. And so I don't know if you have heard about Klein ISD in the news this week.
No, please tell me.
There were 3 firearms incidents this week in our district. Yep.
Wow.
And so I met up with some of the angry parents who got a petition going. They were asking for expensive things like having everybody walking into the high school going through the metal detectors,
yep.
those kinds of things. But if we started at home by just locking up our guns, they would never make it to the school in the first place.
It's amazing how that would work.
Yeah.
You know, I would say for sure. Stephanie Board is running for the Texas House of Representatives, and that's awesome. And we're so glad to meet you. And thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. All right, meeting all kinds of cool, interesting people here. Once again, Harris County Democratic Party Convention, Houston, Texas, University of Houston. Candidate Tyler Smith is here. Hello, Tyler.
Hello, Chris. Good to see you again.
We have seen each other only through video screens.
I know.
First time in the flesh, and I think that's kind of the nature of these things these days in this digital age.
Yeah.
In a state like Texas that's so big, even in districts that are big, you're still doing a lot of online stuff. There's still a lot of territory to cover.
Yeah, I mean, the age of COVID has gotten us into this new digital realm where everything is now mainly online. Most campaigns.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of wild. Go ahead, Taylor.
So, what are you most excited here to see at the Texas Harris County Democratic Convention today?
Yeah, I think I'm most excited just to see Democrats. I mean, I think March 3rd, we had amazing turnout. Actually, the last time I was on Progress Texas, I was going to vote. So it's really exciting to see the turnout that we had on March 3rd. My district specifically, we got more Democrats to vote for the first time since 2020 when we lost this district by 2,000 votes. So we know that times and turns are turning here in Texas, and I'm excited to be here with fellow Democrats, excited to hear from people like Beto, talk about what's headed forward for November.
Absolutely. And that's an interesting, there's not only the massive turnout, but the nature of the turnout that you just kind of alluded to there, Tyler. People who have voted before in the fall, but haven't really ever voted before in the primary. There were tons of those people who stepped up their game, tons of people who've never voted at all who came in too. But I was excited by the people who just kind of got off of that presidential every 4 year. We just vote every 4 years sort of thing, and realized that if they voted more often and a lot more stuff, that things would actually change. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think voter turnout in a year like this was very interesting because, like you said, usually you see these numbers during presidential elections, but in my district, we outvoted Democrats in the presidential election in the primary, which is just unheard of in times like this. And I think that that's due to people just being very frustrated and fed up with what's happening at the top in the federal government. And one thing I like to say is if you're fed up with what Donald Trump is doing, if you look here in Texas, it's been happening for 30 years. So I think we have more than enough here in Texas to be fed up about. And I'm excited that people are turning out to vote.
Talk to us about your district. Talk to us about what you're hearing back from people as you're out there meeting people, knocking on doors, all that stuff. What are people saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think people in my district are, like I said, fed up and ready to go and turn out to vote. I think people are tired of not having access to health care. We're a district where over 15% of the people who live here don't have access to health care. We're a district where public schools are failing. People are having to walk to school just to get to class, miles and miles to get to schools. And that's not fair when we have districts that don't have to do those same things. People who have access to health care, because we have a governor that's selfish and does not want to expand Medicaid here in the state of Texas. We have a governor who doesn't want to fund public schools. And then we have legislators like my opponent, Lacy Ho, who doesn't want to stand up to a governor who doesn't care for our public schools and the people of Texas.
Right on. Talk a little bit about the district in particular. What do you think is the main thing that's going to get folks to realize, like we've been talking about, to be sure that they show up to vote,
but also maybe vote a different way than they're used to voting? What's the crossover pull? What's going to get R's to turn to D?
Yeah, I mean, I think R's are feeling the same thing that we're feeling when it comes to public schools. R's and Dems both go to public schools. It doesn't matter what party you're in, you go to these public schools. Right. And the funding that we're going to lose from the voucher scam that the governor and Lesley Holt passed last year is really going to resonate with a lot of voters in my district. But then again, it goes to the economy. I think people can't afford everyday things that they were able to afford 5-6 years ago. When we look at my district, I just went to go get gas the other day, and I usually pay about $30 to $35 to fill my tank up. And I put $30 in the tank, and it was just half a tank. I mean, that is insane. 80 cents we've gone up on gas in the last couple of weeks. And that's due to direct policy from the Republican Party, people like Donald Trump, Lesley Holt, and Greg Abbott not wanting to stand up and have a backbone.
Absolutely. Closing message to your Democrats in your district. Let's fire them up. Let's get fired up here.
Yeah, I mean, if you are not fired up and ready to go, I have a message for you. I think it is time Democrats get on the bridge and jump into this fight. It is really worth it. Our democracy is on the line. This election is the election of our lifetime. I know we say that every year, but Texas is ready to turn blue. Texas is not a red state. It's a blue state where Democrats just don't vote. And I'm asking all Dems, all independents, Republican or Democrat, if you're fed up with what is going on here in our state, not having access to health care, our public schools not being fully funded, and people not having a fair wage to put a roof over their head and food on the table, I'm actually to jump on this bridge with me and vote for me for your next state representative in Texas House District 138.
All right, awesome. Tyler Smith, what's up, man? Awesome.
Yeah, thanks Chris. Good to be with you guys.
Awesome. All right, as we continue, once again, Harris County Democratic Party Convention, Houston, Texas. We are meeting candidates and office holders and cool folks and influencers, and it's been a terrific thing. And Josh Wallenstein. Josh Wallenstein joins us here.
You can call me anything you want as long as you vote for me.
I'm going to call you Josh Wallenstein because that's the proper way to say it. Although I never know. There are Steins and Steens, and it's difficult to see, or to tell. Tell us about your race.
Yeah.
Just the basics.
So, hi, everybody. So, Josh Wallenstein. I love Uruguay Vera. So,
Thank you.
I'm going to call you afterwards and figure out where to get it. We are West Houston. So, we are energy corridor to the Galleria, including West Chase and the Villages. I-10 to Westheimer, bordered by Highway 6 and 610. So, big rectangle right under 138.
What's the history of that district in the House?
The history of this district is kind of the history of Texas politics recently, which is we just don't come out to vote, and we are a flippable district. We're one of the most flippable districts in the state, one of the top 5. But Democrats don't come out to vote, and frankly, Democrats don't even register to run. So last cycle, we didn't have anybody on the Democratic side, even though our numbers indicate this is ready to flip. We just didn't have the enthusiasm. And part of that is because we have a lot of apartments that have been disenfranchised, a lot of folks that have been disillusioned, and I think that finally the tide has turned. People are a little sick of the status quo and are ready for change. And we're seeing that all over the country, but certainly in Texas.
Give us real quick your story, what you were doing up until you decided you were going to run for office, and why did you make that decision?
I am a compliance and ethics attorney. That's not a contradiction in terms. That's actually a profession. I think we could use some more ethics in Texas politics. I'm also a dad of an adolescent, so we love him anyway. His name's Noah. And I'm a kid of public schools. I was telling the convention, my dad died when I was 7, and public schools literally saved my life. And I owe where I am now and what I've become to public schools. I don't think our kids have that chance anymore. I don't think our kids have the opportunity to succeed the way that I did, and we owe it to our kids. We owe it to our future to give them what I had in my past.
Absolutely, and it's going to take a major change that you want to be a part of in the House for that to be possible in Texas for sure. And so thank you for doing what you're doing. Real quick, as we begin to wind down, tell us your message to the folks in your district. What are you hearing back from people as you're knocking on doors, and what's your message to those folks?
So I live and work in my district. I drive my district all the time. I know all the potholes. I know a lot of doors because I've been knocking a lot of doors. And every time you talk to people and you say, hey, what do you think the future is? They're not optimistic. And you say, well, is your money going as far as it used to? Are gas prices lower than they used to be? Are your public schools better than they used to be? Is healthcare more affordable than you used to be? How about taxes? Are they lower than they used to be? Do you feel like your kids have a better shot than you did at a future? They answer no, and if the answer is no to all of that, that's failed leadership. That's not an accident. That's failed leadership, and you got to change horses, and that's why we have to flip every district we can in Texas.
This we've been under Republican rule for multiple decades now. If things are going in a bad way, it's time to fire the boss and get us a new boss, I would say. For sure. Where do we find you online and stuff?
One more time.
Where do we find you online?
Josh, the number 4, Texas.com. JOSH, the number 4, TEXAS.com.
Boom.
Love to see you there.
Awesome. Oh, thank you. For sure. You too.
You're taller than I thought.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I guess. How does that change the way you really feel about me?
I don't know how you look short while sitting down, but somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I am wearing my Gene Simmons cowboy boots.
So am I.
Yeah.
Well, not Gene Simmons,
you're
but
really
yeah.
cheating.
Yeah, I'm more.
All right. We are here with Sara McGee, nominee.
Official nominee
Yep.
for House District 132 out
Yep.
in West Harris County, the Katy-Cypress area.
Yep. One of our more fun folks we've talked to on the podcast up to this point. This is your second time on.
Yes.
First time in the flesh here.
Yes, very excited.
And this is fun. And once again, we're at the Harris County Democratic Party Convention that I think, it's definitely been an experience for me, meeting people for the first time, not over a screen, that we're actually standing here, breathing the same air and all that stuff. Do you have that same experience at an event like this?
Yes. But I love now that at this point, like these people feel like my family. Like we see them, I see them more often than actually one of my kids, because one of my kids lives up north. So I see these people more often than one of my own children. So yeah.
That's cool.
We're a family at this point. So
how has the campaign gone since we last talked to you? Give us your read on the sitch.
Right. So I believe I spoke to you prior to the primary. So primary turned out amazing.
Yes.
I received 3 times the amount of votes as the last Democratic candidate.
Wow.
And I received 3,000 more votes than the Republican incumbent that's running in my district.
That's quite exciting.
Yeah. For a total of, I got 14,756 votes in the primary, which is the largest number of votes in a primary in my district for a candidate from either party in the history of my House district. So couldn't have gone better.
Your story, your relationship, if we want to call it that, with your opponent is kind of one of those stories that a lot of people know.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and tell it for people who don't know that story.
Yeah. So that's the whole reason. So it's crazy. I've been in healthcare for 22 years. I love my career. I love my family. Never in a million years did I think I would be a political candidate. I never had any interest in it before. But it was just one conversation with the incumbent that I'm running against that changed everything. Because I went on the first day of early voting in 2024, went to the polls. I'd never met him before. I had just gotten off work. I'm wearing my scrubs. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go talk to him, because they tell you to talk to your representatives. And doing what I do, I'm a director of radiology. And so I had seen firsthand what had happened with women's health care is immediately after the abortion ban was passed. So in the immediate aftermath, confusion everywhere, women having to have follow-up ultrasounds and follow-up lab work, and are you septic, are you not septic? Doctors being afraid to act because they didn't know if they were going to lose their license or go to jail, just complete chaos. And so I was like, I'm going to tell him. I was like, because maybe if I tell him, and looking back now, that's just so naive. They don't care. But
no, I don't think
anyway,
so. I think you should be able to expect to get a story across to the person who's representing you.
You should be. So, yeah, so I was like, let me just tell him, what actually happened. And so I did, shared my story, introduced myself. And he basically just called me a liar to my face. Yeah. He was like, that's not happening, and those doctors don't know what they're doing. And I was like, yeah. So I walked away from that conversation and I was like, oh my God. I was like, this guy? I was like, because I've lived in my district my entire life. And just immediately I had just this burning rage of no, not my hometown, not my friends, not my family, not my neighbors. This guy has got to go.
I love it.
And I've been fueled by that ever since. It has not burned out.
I've heard that story 10 times now and I love it every time.
Right. I don't think I'll get tired of telling it. Yeah.
It's a great one for sure. So, since we talked, primary, massive turnout, very encouraging.
Very.
Tell us about, outside of numbers and counts and all that stuff, how are you reading Democratic interest, passion, interest level, drive, motivation, momentum?
Yeah, so it's wild. I actually told this story the other day because single issue voters, just one group of single issue voters usually aren't enough to swing the results of an election.
But the Republicans in Texas have managed to anger several groups of single-issue voters all at the same time. Yeah. Obviously, we already have the women's rights single-issue voters. Now we have a whole new group of public education single-issue voters, tons of Republicans. And I get called a liar for saying this on Twitter all the time, but it's true. Like, the soft Republicans, especially the Republicans that live in my community, they are like, we are crossing the aisle to save public education, period. And then there's an interesting group, the cannabis voters.
Okay, yeah.
Who had
They're definitely
historically,
interesting.
yeah, who had historically voted Republican, especially after 2019 when it was, legalized, and they accidentally wrote the law where it was like basically fully legalized. And now, and so people got a taste of freedom, and now they're trying to walk it back, and they're like, oh wait, what's going on?
And they can't say why.
Yeah, exactly. And so now you have those voters, and so. They've done too much. They've gone too far, and too many people are angry. Yeah, and then you just add that in with what's going on at the national level, and like the general vibe is like this. I mean, we say it every season, but the pendulum swing, folks. The pendulum swings, and we say it every single year that this is the year that Texas turns blue, and we'll keep saying it until we're actually right, because we will be right, and this is the year that we will be right. And I just feel it in my bones.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Me
So-
too. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's terrific to meet you.
You too. Well, good to see you in person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sarah McGee, running for the Texas State House and kicking ass. Love it.
Yeah, I'm just, just killing the game. Love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Here we go. All right, here we go. Once again, Harris County Democratic Party Convention, meeting all kinds of people. Finally meeting someone that we've wanted to meet for a long time. We have not had you on the podcast, which is just stupid.
Well,
frankly.
I'm more than happy to come on anytime.
Odus Evbagharu.
Yes.
Sorry, Odus Evbagharu.
Yes.
We even practiced this before we started.
It's all good.
So tell us what you do. You're one of those guys that just everybody talks about Odus.
Well,
Why do they talk about Odus?
Well, I try to be as involved as humanly possible. And
Right.
sometimes probably I stretch myself a little too thin, but it's okay, though. It's for the right cause. We're trying to make sure that working families in Texas are thriving. And so I had the opportunity to be in the party chair here, being the first black person to do it and the youngest as well, too.
Oh, wow.
Now currently the treasurer of the Texas Democratic Party.
Right.
And then just working on campaigns literally my whole life. And so now the opportunity has presented itself to run for office, and we're doing it. Trying to fill big shoes of John Rosenthal, who is now running for Railroad Commission. That's my guy. I was chief of staff for a very long time.
Let's get into that race a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the particulars of
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. So, Rep Rosenthal is now running for Railroad Commissioner.
Right.
We need him. We've never really had someone who is a subject matter expert in that seat. We have a lot of people that are protecting industry.
They know how to make money.
That's right. But not actually know the mechanics of what it means to go work out in the oil fields. And so John's going to be there. He's going to do a fantastic job, and we're going to make him the next Railroad Commissioner of Texas.
I'm bummed that John's not here because he is a Houston guy. I was hoping he would be here. I think he's in Dallas or somewhere else.
That's right.
He's
doing like a 3-county tour.
Yeah. There's got to be people jumping on planes to get to all the places where they're going or driving too fast down I-35 or something. So pause. Edit. You're not running yourself. Are you? Okay. Okay. Your race. Let's talk about your race here real quick.
Yeah, so now running to replace Rep Rosenthal. I was his chief of staff for 2 sessions.
In the Texas House.
That's right, in the Texas House.
Yep.
I helped flip his seat in 2018 from a 24-year incumbent, and then we kept it by 300 votes in 2020. And so now he's running for Railroad Commissioner. I am now running for that seat. Grew up in that area, ran unopposed in the Democratic primary. We'll have a Republican challenger, but it's a safe Democratic seat. So we're just getting ready now for the 90th. We're getting ready for November, making sure that we turn out our district so we can get people like John elected statewide, and then head to the 90th and ready to fight those Republicans.
So you are different from a lot of the candidates that we've met. There's been this huge push. First time that either party has fielded candidates in all of the races all the way across the state. Democrats to pull that off for the first time. That's a monumental accomplishment in itself.
That's right.
However, that has yielded a fair number of people who are running for the first time, who are just coming out of private life to run.
That's right.
You have been much more tightly involved with politics in Texas. Right. So you had kind of the insider view. Yeah. But forgive me if I'm wrong. Is this your first time to run?
It is.
Okay.
It is. Technically, it is. Yeah.
So you have a different sort of set of perspective.
That's
on
right.
all this.
That's right. It's different not being an operative, now being a candidate. So you got to give your life to other people. Normally they're giving it to me. So it's been a great experience, and it's been something to learn from, and it's been great. Doing call time, raising money, talking to other elected officials, getting ready for the 90th to fight. And listen, my job right now is not just only to raise money, but to also uplift our other candidates that are around us, and then making sure that we're turning out our district so we can finally flip statewide for the first time in 30 years.
You're uniquely in a good position for that as
That's
well.
Right, yes.
Tell me what you would say to some of these people who are first timers. A great many of them against really long odds in some of these really difficult districts out there. They've been talking to doing it. Now they're doing it. Maybe they're figuring out it's a lot of work. They're figuring out the odds are actually long. And, talk to those people. Give us
the first thing I would tell them is have fun. Have fun. Have fun talking to people. These are your neighbors. These are your potential constituents. These are people who are living the life that you are living too. Have fun. Have those fun conversations. Remember, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen more than you speak as a candidate. Listen to what they're really telling you.
Great advice for all of us, really.
And then figure out the issues that really matter to folks. Because when you listen, then you can really talk to the needs that they're doing. So have fun. And then again, remember, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen more than you're talking, and you really make a dent in a district where you may have long odds, or you're going to flip a district where it needed to be flipped a long time ago.
Excellent. How do we find you online and all that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. It's Odus, Odus, fortexas.com, all spelled out. And then I'm on social media everywhere. You just Google my name, and I'm there and doing videos and doing the whole nine.
You are everywhere. That's what I'm saying. Like, you came walking up, I'm like, there he is. We haven't had this guy on yet.
No, I'm definitely more than happy to hop on anytime you let me know.
Oh, fabulous. We'll do it for sure.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Great to meet you.
Thank you.
Okay, Houston, Texas, and the Harris County Democratic Party Convention, University of Houston. We are meeting so many cool people. We are running into so many cool people who we adore and admire. And one of those would be State Representative Lauren Ashley Simmons. Hello.
Hey, what's up? What's
going on with you?
You know what? Doing all the things. I'm here in double capacity. I'm here as the state representative. I'm also the new apprenticeship coordinator for the Katie Jewett Apprenticeship. So trying to help build our movement and bring more organizers into our world.
Talk about that.
So I'm really excited about it. We are actually going to have a cohort starting very soon, May 1st. So we're going to bring on 10 apprentices this go round. And then we're going to bring in another 10. And they are going to learn like classroom style, hard organizing skills. And then they're going to get in the field and work alongside the Democratic Party in the county and make sure we win some elections up and down the ballot. We're trying to turn Texas blue, y'all.
I love it. Very, very cool. So give us your read. We've kind of been asking the same question of a lot of people. The momentum that we all seem to perceive, the passion that seems to be building, the interest, the primary turnout was massive. Things are turning our way, it seems.
Man,
what do we think?
I am more excited than I have been in a long time. Like, I'm thinking about how I felt in November 2024 to, like, fast forward 2 years later, and I'm just all over the place. I hate the state of our country right now. I hate what people are going through, the way our people are being, are disappearing in the streets, and ICE is rogue, and Trump is doing everything that he said he was going to do. But as an organizer, I know sometimes it takes agitation to get people active, to get people to wake up and see what's going on. And so, there's no moment like what we've seen right now. I mean, the turnout for the primaries was insane. There are several districts and precincts where the Democratic turnout was higher than the Republican turnout.
Yeah.
And
fairly common.
We had a contested primary at the top of our ticket. They did too, and we still out and overperform. So I'm feeling good. I'm a labor organizer. That's my background. So I operate under a certain level of delusion. So I'll tell people all the time, look, when Wendy Davis was running, I had my pink sneakers, and I was sure it was a sure thing then, and I'm gonna say it's a sure thing now. I'm excited.
Tell us a little bit about, so you're definitely got your feet underneath you at the State House at this point. What are the concrete things that could be changed with a Democratic overperformance for the State House in particular? What are the important things that the Republicans are getting away with doing right now that even if we didn't win a majority, just with a stronger Democratic cohort, what could how could that place change?
I mean, we've done a great job playing defense, and so we would just come in a lot stronger, right? We would be able to put them on their heels. A lot of that nonsense, really awful and hateful anti-immigrant legislation that we see, the anti-LGBT, just that it's their red meat issues that get their voters to the polls, and that's why they keep trying to deliver those crazy results. With more of us in the House, it really changes that dynamic. Yeah, they still have the majority, but then they have to think about, man, a few of my friends didn't come back this time around. Right. Maybe I could be next. And so, I think that's really important. Also, too, there's a Republican who used to serve in the House, and people always ask him, hey, when Texas funded education really well that one time in 2018, what happened? And he said, well, Democrats won a bunch of seats. So there's a lot more possibilities than just, us playing defense. There might be some offensive, strikes that we can take as well. And I'm going full force. I'm filing, I'm trying to find an anti-right to work bill. I want to get my collective bargaining bill refiled. I want to raise the minimum wage. I had a tennis right package that I'm gonna push again, this session. So we got a lot of work to do, and I'm really excited. We're gonna have a really amazing class of freshmen coming in. My good friend Odus Evbagharu for sure. Yep. I'm gonna miss John Rosenthal so much, and he's doing great things running as for the Railroad Commission.
I wish he was here.
I wish he was here too, but running statewide is tough.
I know.
Like every time I see John, he's like on his way to his next thing. But I'm really excited about the future of this state, and it happens right here. Harris, the pathway to turning Texas blue runs through Harris County.
You keep leading into my next questions, which are, in your case, as you said, your background as very much a person at the grassroots level in your neighborhoods, in your community, doing the thing that you were doing, where I kind of feel like we're seeing on a macro sort of level the payoff of that micro sort of work.
Yeah.
So tell us about Houston from that level. Tell us about Houston, the communities that are here. What is it? What's the sauce that makes Houston such a great place to be?
Houston is an amazing city. It's super diverse. That's one thing I love about Texas. I always say Texas is like 5 states in one, right? Like Houston is different from Dallas. Dallas is different from Austin, different from South Texas. But there's just something about our city, the Bayou City, that's just so unique, right? Like just the immersion of cultures, just the different historical centers. We have some of the best food. I know people always talk about New Orleans and Atlanta. Houston has some of the best food. And then you think about our county, right? Harris County, I literally call it the state of Harris County, right? It's a huge
county. It may as well be. Yeah.
I mean, it's huge. We're bigger than 25, I think, other states. So it's, there's just so many people here, and there's just such energy and momentum. People think of Texas kind of like this country cowboy town, and we are. But we're also like a big country town, big city, right? Yep. I love this place. I don't always love the politics, and sometimes I feel like the politics don't love me back. That's why I'm fighting to change. But you can't take me out of Houston. I'm never going to leave this place. I have a good time, getting work done in Austin, but Houston is home. And so I think, seeing so many people activated and excited and thinking about, I love Texas, I love Houston, and I want it to be better. I want this state to be as good as it's promised. That's why you're seeing so many people motivated right now.
Beautiful. I think we're going to stop there.
Thanks.
That's good stuff. It's State Rep Lauren Ashley Simmons.
Thanks so much for having me, and
absolutely.
Thank y'all for what y'all do. I was just telling her, I was like, y'all, I got a lot of a lot of friends who are new in politics, and so I give them my little spiel about, hey, you're voting, but you need an on-ramp, and so y'all will do some amazing work.
Thank you.
So insightful.
Thank you. Very cool. Great to see you. Awesome.
Hello, hi, we're here joined with Lesley Briones. Tell us what we're doing here today.
Yes, we are here at the Harris County Democratic Convention, and I'm proud to be here, proud to be sponsoring, because we know that the way we're going to get the Texas we deserve, the way we are going to flip Texas to blue is right here through Harris County, and making sure we drive up the score and make sure that we get the Texas we deserve. One where everyone has a fair shot, one where the American dream is alive and well, and one where everybody's rights are respected and everybody is welcome and valued.
Absolutely. And tell us a little bit more about Houston. How does Houston fit into 2026?
Yes, well, Houston is critical because we know that Harris County is blue. We will keep it blue, but we want to make sure we're driving up the score. And so Abbott thinks that Harris County is for sale. He thinks that with money he can turn it back to red, but the people of Harris County won't let it. And as one of your Harris County commissioners, we have shown that Democrats deliver for working families, creating jobs, creating access to health care, education, and beyond. And so we have proven through results what Democrats can do and can deliver, and Harris County is certainly not for sale.
Absolutely.
So we've been talking a bunch about unity and the fact that there are still runoffs going on. The very nature of the convention like this is for the different people across different parts of the party to work out their differences, eventually to the state convention to establish the platform. Talk about how you see the potential for a truly unified Democratic front moving into November as we go through this normal political process.
Yes. So as Democrats, we must unify. We must be disciplined and we must be relentless. And we need to be focused on Abbott and Trump. We need to be focused on stopping this extremism and the overreach. And as Democrats, I'm a lawyer. I used to be a judge, right? We love to debate. We love to discuss. We're a big tent party. We welcome all ideas, but we need to welcome them. And then we need to make sure we're backing our candidates so that we win. Because we must reverse this streak over the last 30 years that Texas, we haven't won statewide. But the only way we're going to do that is through unity and through relentlessness.
You're one of the main supporters of this event, of this convention. Why was it important for you to support the Harris County Convention?
I am one of the main supporters and hosts because I believe deeply in our party and the values we represent and that we are the party for working people. And so, again, because I believe in unity, we need to get all together as Democrats, and this is a great event to do that. And so I'm just honored to be here, honored to be serving the people of Harris County, and look forward to creating the Texas we all deserve.
All right, lastly, we are humans against Greg Abbott here, and he has been attacking Houston relentlessly. Could you give me a little message for Greg Abbott?
Yes. Abbott, Harris County, Houston is not for sale. We do not stand for overreach. We believe deeply in the rule of law, that everyone is equal under the law, and the great state of Texas deserves better.
Amen.
Amen.
Awesome. Thank
All
you
right,
so much.
let's go, Team Blue.
There you go.
Woo. What am I doing?
Okay, check. Here we go. All right. So he rolls into the room. It takes him 30 minutes to get here because everybody's got to talk to Beto O'Rourke.
Yes.
What? Is this your life every day, all the time?
The thing is, I want to talk to everybody.
Of course.
You know,
of course.
I have so many people who have inspired me, who have laid the groundwork, not just for the campaigns we have run, but for campaigns that are being run and which will be won in 2026. I mean, in this room and in the hall that we're about to both go into, we're going to see the people who made our victory on November 3rd possible. And I just want to be here to thank them, to be with them in community, and also in the work and the service over the next 7 months. This is going to kick our ass, but we're also going to kick their ass.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
So we got to be in this together, right?
Yeah.
Well, you exemplify the energy that we want everyone to have for sure. And I would say that, you know, and this has kind of been the theme of the day today, that the folks on the ground, the folks, you know, in their neighborhoods, organizing at work, organizing in their schools, doing what they're doing with the people who are around them, that's the micro level of work. And now we're seeing macro results. Talk about, and of course you're a huge part of that, talk about your vibe that you get of the momentum and the energy. Like, where are we at now? It's not an illusion, right? It's really happening. The Democrats are trained to kind of go, is this real? Is this real?
Yeah.
Is it real?
It is, for the reasons that you just nailed. It's not the money. It's not the technology. It's not the social media. All of those are probably necessary evils to the ultimate goal, but we'll only get there through the real work. And that's people connecting with people, just like you and I are right now, face to face, eyeball to eyeball, human to human. That's what we, Empowered by People, are doing. Our volunteers all over the state of Texas, meeting voters and future voters where they are. Not doing this at a distance, but doing this at human scale, in person, connecting, registering, updating registration, confirming registration, and then personally staying in touch to answer questions, overcome obstacles. Like, we're kidding ourselves if we don't think that Trump is going to use the voter roll that Abbott sent him to purge our fellow Texans and try to prevent them from voting. We got to be there and know these voters' names so we can restore their voting rights in time to win these elections November 3rd. Lots of other groups doing this work, lots of other great campaigns, but I learned it from people that I'm saying hello to again here in Harris County in 2017, 2018, meeting people where they are, connecting in person, understanding that it's not the candidate, it's not even the political party, It is the people. I mean, that's politics. I mean, that's
baby.
literally the definition of it. And that's what Democrats are doing. So my long answer to your question is, yes, it is real. We see it. We feel it on the ground. And it's been revealed in the numbers.
Yeah.
Democrats, believe it or not, folks, outvoting Republicans by more than 100,000. In 5 of the gerrymandered districts, we outvoted them in 4 of them. Fucking amazing, right? and could not happen at a better time. We're going to win this thing. We're going to win this
It's
thing.
crazy. It's a great time.
So it's a big state, and you could have been anywhere today. Why Houston?
I mean, this is it, right? If Texas is the center of the political universe, and I believe it is, it's not a nice to win, it's a must-have. It's the 51st vote in the U.S. Senate. It's the competitive congressional races that allow us to win control of the House of Representatives. So we have a check on Trump's criminality, accountability for his corruption, insurance that we'll actually have free and fair elections for the presidency in 2028. He understands that as well. So, all guns on his side are trained on Texas, hence the gerrymander of 5 districts, the voter purge that is incoming, and you absolutely know it, sending those mass plainclothes goons who are federal agents to intimidate voters at polling places starting in early voting, trying to cancel mail-in voting in the state. All of this is coming our way. Houston is the epicenter of the front lines of this fight. It is the most diverse city in the country, bar none. The coolest fucking thing in the world that it happens to be right here in the state of Texas. Our source of strength, the very reason that Trump and Abbott continually attack Houston and Harris County and Fort Bend and everywhere else that reveals the strength in our diversity, in our differences that bind us together, and what holds us in common, which is our belief in the Constitution, the rule of law, and our democracy, a government of, by, and for the people. That is Houston in a nutshell. That's why they're coming after us. That's why I want to be here. This is the fight. And the 253 other counties, of course, matter. We cannot pick and choose. We've got to be everywhere for everyone. We write nobody off. We take no one for granted. Right. But tell me there's a more important place in this country, in the world right now, than Harris County. So this is the action.
Makes total sense. So another overarching theme, and we'll wrap up with this one. We have gone through the primary process, which actually there's runoffs going on, so it's not quite complete even now. We're at an event that is by design about conflicting ideas and about different ideas coming together and hashing it out, working it out. There's been this undertone of talk about, will Democrats be able to really unify in time for November, really hit that as a unified front? I feel, just based on everything you've just said, I feel like you've already answered this question, but how do you feel about the potential for true unity as we hit November?
One of the reasons I love Jasmine Crockett so much is that within hours of her defeat, she's out there talking to all of her supporters and saying, hey, folks, you know what? Hard-fought race. We ran it as well as we could, and she really did. She made us proud. She said, we got to get behind Tallarico. This is our guy. And she said that she was going to do everything that she could, and I know she is, and she will, for the next 7 months, and then thereafter for as long as it takes. Let her be the example for all of us. If anyone had grounds, to be upset or to take a pause or to say, you know what, I'm not sure that I'm ready for this. Right. She did it with, I don't even know if she had slept that night. There's the first thing she did is to tell all of us, we got to come together right now. Whatever our differences on the partisan spectrum, or geographically or ethnically or racially or gender or anything, immigration, none of that shit matters. We have so much more in common, uniting us, binding us together at this moment of truth against the greatest threat, bar none, that the country or the world has ever faced. So bury those hatchets. don't even remember where you put them.
Right.
And let's get together and get this done.
I love it. One more.
All right. You know what? Tell us what you're most excited about today.
Yeah. There are so many people that I've had a chance to say hello to who said, Beto, I became a precinct chair in 2018 because of the way that we were all running these races. I became a judge because of the investment in communities that were taken for granted. The big sin of the Democratic Party before Harris County took the lead was, if you're black, if you're brown, we've already got you in the bank. I don't need to earn your vote. Right. We all together decided we were going to earn everybody's vote. No one was spoken for. No one could be taken for granted. No one could be written off. Everybody counts. And Harris County led the way, and that spirit is alive and well today. That's the thing that I'm most excited for. We are for everyone, fighting shoulder to shoulder, lockstep to victory on November 3rd, starting right here in Harris County.
Awesome.
Last thing, real quick, what do people need to know about Powered by People? What's going on with y'all? How do they support?
We want you. If you're looking for the tough, hard work that works, we worked with young voters in 2024. Their turnout rate statewide was 37%. When they came through our program, it was 79%. Wow. Staying in touch with people on a personal level, human to human, this stuff really works. We want you to join us as a volunteer. It's poweredxpeople.org. It will not be easy. This will not be convenient. This isn't one of these programs where we say you can do this from the comfort of your couch. We will put you to work under the blazing hot Texas sun, meeting voters where they are, getting them registered, turning them out, protecting them against voter intimidation and suppression to ensure that we win. We want you on this team.
Awesome. That's it.
Thank you both.
Beto O'Rourke. Thank you so much for everything you do, and heading into the hall.
Let's do it.
All right. Awesome.
Adios.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wherever you want to look. You do you.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Harris County Democratic Party Convention. We are continuing our series of short talks with cool folks who are doing big things in Texas Democratic politics. Marquette Greene-Scott.
Yes.
Who I have called Marquette Greene-Scott. How many people do that?
I've been called Marquette.
Yeah.
I'm Marquetta.
Marquetta.
I'm okay with however you say it.
No, I'm gonna do my darndest to get it right.
Thank you.
So you are in the process now of running for the second time? Is it
Yes.
Second time?
Yes.
Give us the skinny on your race. Are you the nominee or are you still in runoff
I am
mode?
the nominee.
Okay, terrific.
I won my race on March 3rd. I had 4 primary opponents.
Yeah.
I was the Democratic nominee in 2024.
Wait. You had 4 opponents.
I did.
And 1 outright.
I did.
That's pretty rock star right there. Okay. Just want to make sure that's clear.
It wasn't just me. I had a lot of hard-working volunteers who are ready to save our democracy.
Yep. Awesome.
And they worked tirelessly. Even after the 2024 election, they never stopped working. They told people I was still running, even though I hadn't made a decision. But
you were recruited.
I was recruited.
Or you were coerced. No. You were recruited.
I love them. So they don't coerce
No,
me.
I hear you. I'm kidding.
They encouraged me.
Sure.
And that's what keeps me going.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Talk about your district. Talk about the towns that are in it. Like what the people who are there. Give us the lay of the land, what you're looking at.
Okay, so CD22 is encompassed by Fort Bend. So when I talk about Fort Bend, it starts at Riverstone. So you're looking at Riverstone, Sugar Land, Richmond, Rosenberg, Fulshear, Needville, Kendleton, all of those areas. Then you have, and you have Cinco Ranch and Katy.
Okay.
And did I say Fulshear?
Yes.
Fulshear.
Yes, you
okay. So then you move to Harris, and for Harris we have the Cinco Ranch Katy area. Then you have Brazoria. They flipped it with that redistricting in 25. It used to be Northern Brazoria. Now it's Southern Brazoria. So they flipped 14 and 22.
Yep.
So Southern Brazoria has Alvin, Angleton, Lake Jackson, all of those, Freeport, all of those areas. So it's Highway 1462 all the way to the Gulf.
That's a lot of energy sector in that district.
Yes, it is.
Talk about how there's clearly energy is central to progressive politics in terms of both jobs and both environmental concerns.
Yes.
How does a Democrat seamlessly message about and to people who work in the energy sector in that particular district?
I think that when we talk about clean energy or green energy, and when we talk about alternatives, we need to talk about training.
Sure.
Because I'm from Louisiana, and of course, people who work offshore. That's a way of life for us.
Yeah.
So I would not think about taking jobs from them, but we have to not be so reliant on it either. You see what's going on right now with this war.
Absolutely.
And gas prices are going up daily. So other countries might not be suffering as much because they're not as reliant on energy as we are. So we have to be smart with our policies. We have to think about training, job training. Somebody who would usually go work offshore, well, let's find a clean energy job for that person. But we still want to have our oil and gas industry, but there's a way to do things.
Yes, we got to move into the future. That's what progress is.
We have to, yes.
Absolutely. What else are people who you're meeting out when you're working the doors and going out and meeting people? What are people feeding back to you? What are they worried about? What are they concerned about?
There's a concern for our democracy.
Sure.
This Congress is allowing this president to legislate via executive order.
Right.
And we know that it's Congress's job to legislate.
That's right.
But they're not doing it. So that's a concern for a lot of people. And that was even before the war. There's concern for health care. We need some form of universal health care, and that's what I'm pushing for. But I think we need to make sure that the subsidies for the Affordable Care Act are shored up, and then we can transition from the Affordable Care Act to some form of universal health care. Affordability is a problem.
Sure.
And when we say affordability, it's all encompassing because we're looking at housing, we're looking at our food, we're looking at insurance, we're looking at gas prices, all of those things. And minimum wage, remember, the federal minimum wage has been $7.25 since 2009.
I know. It's ridiculous.
It's really ridiculous. So right now, the American taxpayers are subsidizing these big companies.
Right. That's exactly right. And that's such an important story to tell. A lot of people don't clue in on that.
But
that if you're paying your people so little that they've got to rely on the government to survive, then you are receiving an indirect subsidy.
Yes.
That is not really, nobody voted for that, I don't think, or shouldn't have. The corporate folks did. So to conclude, give us a little bit of message on how you're feeling, how the energy is. I mean, we're in one of those places where everybody's fired up. We just saw some great presentations in the hall back there.
Yes.
How's your vibe on our momentum and our spirit and our enthusiasm?
When I tell you I am so fired up, I don't know if you can tell.
I can tell.
Because I'm kind of energetic anyway.
Yes,
but
yes.
I am on this high right now. I'm so fired up because people are paying attention.
Yeah.
People who didn't pay attention before are paying attention. Tell you this short story.
Sure.
I was in Brazoria this morning for the county convention.
Right.
And in 2024, we had chairs lined up in the hallway. That's how few people we had. Well, today it was at the library in this big room, and the room was full.
Terrific.
People are paying attention, so that has me fired up.
I love it. And that's, of course, right in line with the terrific primary turnout that we've just enjoyed.
Yes.
And so, all signs are the pendulum is swinging.
Oh,
so
it's swinging.
We hope it swings for you, Marquette Greene-Scott. Marquette Greene-Scott. So great to meet you. So great to get your name right.
That's
and
okay.
let us know what's going on with you out on the campaign trail, and be safe.
Will do. Thank you so much for giving
welcome.
me this time.
You're welcome. Awesome. That was great. Okay, once again, Harris County Democratic Party Convention, Houston, Texas. We're talking to so many great people, lots and lots of candidates, some of whom I've been mispronouncing their name for a long time, and I'm learning today that it's not Melissa McDonough, it's Melissa McDonough.
Correct. That's
Right?
correct.
Right.
Absolutely.
Congressional candidate, tell us about you and your race right quick.
Well, I am running for Texas Congressional District 38. I am your Democrat nominee for
Yay.
2026.
Yay.
I was also your nominee for 2024. So we have built a grassroots effort since 24 and continued this campaign. So we never stopped working. So we have moved our rating from an R14 to now an R7.
Yes, that's the right direction.
That is a great direction because we're the only district in 2024 that moved to the left in Harris County.
Wowzers.
So we were responsible for 6 of the judges getting on the bench, our DA, and so forth. If that was all through grassroots efforts out of 38.
Very, very good. Terrific work.
So cool thing about 38, I'll tell you, is that because 38 is all in Harris County, okay, so if you're a statewide candidate, so you're a Tellerico, you're a governor, or so forth, you have to win 25% of the votes out of Harris County.
Yes, that would stand to mathematical sense.
22% reside in 38.
Ah.
You flip 38, you flip the state.
It's what we would call the old bellwether.
Yes.
I like it.
Let's do it.
I like when I get to trot that term out. Talk about your piece of Harris County, about this in terms of how it might be unique or different from the rest of the general Houston area.
So it is a large geographic, and it's very gerrymandered.
Mm-hmm.
You have areas that we have walked where the left side of the street is in the district, the right side is not, but on the next street, both sides are in the district.
Yep.
It literally is down to where your house is and where you're, right to the actual house location. So we have everything we go from Tomball all the way over to Waller, Hockley Waller. We go down through Cypress, Jersey Village, into the Energy Corridor, into Memorial, and into River Oaks area. So it's a very diverse area, and I love that. I have been in real estate for 30 years in 38. And have really got to see the progress on, the evolution basically of bringing businesses in and how that's affected our local economy.
Bound to have seen enormous growth over that amount of time.
Cypress is the fastest growing area of Harris County right now.
Okay, yeah. So and I think with that comes these new prospects that we're talking about.
You're correct.
Where our opposition perhaps has been banking on things just kind of staying the way they've always been.
Yes.
And I think we may be about to find out that ain't the case necessarily.
It is not.
So,
and being part of that growth, being part of an investment as a business myself, as a small business owner, and investing in our growth and getting to know where we're going and not just the wishes and the hopes, but the dreams that our constituents and our neighbors really have for that area, and watching that progress actually come and evolve. Come to fruition.
Right on.
It's super exciting.
It's very, very cool. The very exciting sort of vibes going on at this place and the event, the convention. It seems to be a lot of momentum and a lot of passion. And it sounds to me like you agree with that. Talk about the feelings that are going around the building today.
Well, we are here because we want to make sure that we meet people where they are.
Yeah.
And this conference gives us the opportunity to really, truly reach out and partner with the people that are going to bring the success of 38 and make that happen. They're here today. They are the leaders that's going to really grab onto other people, put them in their car, get them to the polls. Because there's only one thing that wins an election: voters to the polls.
That's right, baby. Absolutely.
So this is where it happens. This is why they're here. And we can't wait to continue our adventure.
Wonderful, wonderful. Melissa McDonough, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck on the trail.
I appreciate it.
Be safe, okay?
We will. Appreciate it.
Okay. Harris County Democratic Party Convention, Houston, Texas, University of Houston. Conversations continue. We've had a lot of candidates. We've met a lot of cool people. We have not had a whole lot of statewide candidates. Here comes a statewide candidate in Benjamin Flores, running for land commissioner.
Yes, sir.
Right. Trying to remember when we've had a land commissioner candidate on. It hasn't been since the last cycle, clearly. It's been a little while. Talk about that job. We caught you live at the Austin Democratic Women's Convention in Austin a couple of months ago. Said some great stuff there. Talk about why you want to be land commissioner and why it would change things if you became land commissioner.
Well, the land commissioner's job is the little big office that most Texans don't know about.
Yep.
Yet it affects everyone in their daily lives. Anything from public funding for schools, our veterans, and lastly, how we help our communities after a disaster. I call that the Hawaiian pizza of the statewide offices, because some people go like those things don't belong together.
I love Hawaiian pizza.
I do too.
I'm big on it.
But as a sitting councilman, all those things have a direct effect on every single community.
Right.
I saw it for Beryl for me. I saw it how the funding for public schools locally for my districts gets affected by decisions coming out of Austin. And that's why I'm very passionate about those things.
Very, very good. You have a farming background yourself. Talk about some of that. I think that's a great story. And it's funny because Clayton Tucker, who's running for Ag Commissioner, also is from the farm and business.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
So I do have a pig farm.
Yes. I love it.
That kind of
I love
background.
it. I love it.
We've been at it for 4 years, and one of the things
This is now. You're doing this now.
Correct.
Okay, right on.
It has really instilled me a deep respect for the people, for the folks that do that.
Sure.
That kind of because you and I and most every other Texan can go to HEB, get out of the air-cooled, conditioned car, go to the store in an air-cooled. You get the point, right?
Yep, sure.
And they just buy a package. Yet we have hundreds of thousands of people working all year round, cold, hot, humid, hail. You get the point, right?
Outside, yep.
And
Yep.
they're really unsung heroes. And one of the points that he makes is that industry is aging out here in Texas.
Yeah.
Right. So I've come to gather a deep appreciation for what goes into the things we eat.
Yep.
But I've also taken it as an opportunity to educate folks. I do tours for children, for 4-H, and for other organizations to show them how we can do things differently, where we can work with nature as opposed to shoehorning certain things.
Right, absolutely. And I love that, the angle of doing things in a way that might be, possibly agreeable with our planet.
Correct.
For a change. That'd be
Yes.
really, really nice for sure. So the overarching theme here has been democratic excitement, democratic momentum and passion, and will that become democratic unity? There has been, coming out of the primary, some talk about hurt feelings, which is not new. This happens every time we go through the primary season. In fact, it's central to what's happening here at this convention as people hammer out differences and try to figure out what's going to eventually end up on the platform. Talk about the importance for democratic unity, how you feel it's coming with that, and talk about that.
I talk to folks that if the Democratic Party, really wants to help Texans, we have to win offices.
Yes.
And in order for us to win offices, we got to have candidates that can win those positions.
Right.
It's one of the reasons why, first I was running as a governor candidate. But once Representative Hinojosa made her announcement, I told her that I would endorse her and I would help her in any way I can.
Okay. Good.
Because to me, is purpose over pride, right? Because if I want to drink my own Kool-Aid of helping people, she was much better candidate than me.
Oh,
right?
wow.
She was much more established.
Yes.
Right. And then I asked myself, well, with my set of skills, with my experience, where could I best help Texans?
Makes perfect sense.
And that's why when I looked at the land commissioner's job, right, I decided to, this fits my that.
Yep.
Right. So what do I tell Texans? It's like, hey, listen, if this is what we really want to do, then we really want to put people that can win it. And we got to support the hell out of them.
Right.
I understand. Look, I know I'm on the winning side, right, of the primary. Right. It's a different feeling. I totally get it. But we have to meet the moment.
Right.
I've been telling people it's not just me to be a better bureaucrat and really deliver in the land commissioner's job, right? Which I have. You can read my platform, but really the moment that we're living, we have to take our state back.
Yes.
We have to take our country back.
Yes.
That's
agreed.
what's at stake here, right?
Very good.
So if I'll tell you, one of the great benefits of a council position in Texas is that it's undeclared positions, right?
Yeah.
So when we're up there, I can tell you that 90% of the times we agree on everything, right? Because we're looking for the health, the safety, the future of our communities.
Yep.
We don't say, hey, which party? No, that. Or even when city residents come to me and they say, hey, could you, they forgot to pick up my trash. Or what about that pothole? Or what about the new aquatic center?
Right.
I don't ask them, hey, which party do you belong to?
Right,
Which
right.
church do you profess?
Right.
I just seek to help.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's the mentality that we as Democrats need to adopt, right? Perhaps we don't agree on everything, but we still live in the same communities.
Right. Well, speaking of that unity and the possibility of winning on a statewide basis, it's going to require coordination.
Yes.
You're a statewide candidate. There has not, arguably, there has not been a history recently of very effective Democratic coordinated campaigning in these big election years across Texas. Chair Kendall Scudder has talked about changing that. What can you tell us about the things that you may have heard or that you might be involved in that might give us an idea of how the statewide candidates, such as yourself, will be involved in, a platform campaign across the entire state?
So they came up with an excellent idea, the Texas Together campaign.
Right.
And it is public. You can go to the TVP website, I think /Texas Together, or you can just Google it.
Yeah, it's easy to find.
And you can see the things that they will do, right? For a statewide candidate, it's gold, right? It gives us the ability to expand our networks, our reach to areas or in ways, let's say field, right? Basically having volunteers. I'm a very, very small team, right? Let alone that having the money to do that. You had to have a team that is able to manage a network of volunteers. So there actually is one of the things that they're going to be able to help us with. So what is it going to be different? I think this is going to be the first time ever, right? I want to. I'm one of those that I'm a 100% optimist. Right, I always want to. My wife sometimes gets to me she gets upset because I want to see the good in everybody.
Sure.
Right. So I want to see the good purpose and intentions of this effort.
Yeah.
Right. Because remember, we're trying to help people.
Yeah.
So it's not just win office. My
Right.
goal is not to win the office. Right. My goal is to help people.
Yeah.
So by working together in this fashion, I think we have a really good chance.
Very, very good. Benjamin Flores, running for Land Commissioner of Texas, statewide candidate. Awesome. Way to go in your primary and the big win. And
Thank you. Gracias.
We'll keep up with you, and you do the same, and we'll see you soon.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Awesome.